testimony you shall give in the matter now for the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. And for the record, please, if you'd state your full name and where you are employed.
Brian Jones, Columbia County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, sir. Please answer council's questions. Madam DA.
Thank you. Investigator, how are you employed at the Sheriff's Office?
I'm a criminal investigator.
And how long have you been with the Sheriff's Office?
A little over 19 years.
How long have you been a criminal investigator?
For about 12 years, since 99.
On January 31st, 2011, did you have the occasion to become involved in the investigation of the murder of Alana Calahan?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And if you would, please explain to the jury how you became involved in that investigation.
I was the on-call investigator that evening, and I received word that there had been a shooting out on Miles Road at 11:59, and so I responded to the scene to assist in that investigation.
Okay. And do you recall approximately what time you may have responded?
According to the crime scene log, I believe it was about 22:05 in that evening, about
Okay.
4.
And what, if anything, did you observe upon your initial approach to the residence?
There were several people that had already arrived from the sheriff's office ahead of me. There was crime scene tape, and one of the first things that I noticed was, first things I did was got with Investigator Edmonds, who was already there. Started talking to him, kind of formulating a plan on how we were going to work this, and then from there just kind of started getting a general overview of the scene and kind of how things were.
Okay. Were Amanda Calahan and Aaron Schmidt present at that time?
Yes.
And where were they located?
Around the front porch area of the residence.
Okay. And what about Chase Calahan?
I was told that he was there. I don't recall that I ever saw him. I believe he was in a car, kind of away from it. He's younger, so they tried to kind of separate him from the scene a little bit. And from what I was told, he was being kind of watched after until his mother could get there.
Okay. What happened next?
Like I said, spoke with Investigator Edmonds, kind of formulated a game plan on how this was all going to work. I kind of walked through the scene briefly to get a general overview of how things were, went over, viewed the body, and kind of viewed the layout. And then from that point, we determined it was necessary to go ahead and get Amanda and Mr. Schmidt kind of up to a location where we could interview them.
Okay. And where was that location?
It was up at CID, or Criminal Investigations Division up in Appleton,
Okay.
where our offices are.
And do you see Aaron Schmidt in the courtroom today?
I do.
And if you would, please identify him by one article of clothing he is wearing.
He's wearing a red shirt.
Okay, thank you. May the record reflect he has identified the defendant.
And the record will so reflect.
Who was interviewed first?
Amanda Calahan.
Okay. And what context at that point, or where were you during her interview?
I wasn't in the interview room with them. I was kind of periodically going in. The way our interview room is set up, we have, it's set up for video and audio, and we have a monitoring room. And I was going back and forth from my office and the interview monitoring room.
Okay. And at that point, had you or Investigator Edmonds determined whether or not Amanda Calahan was a suspect?
Not at that point, no.
Okay. What context was she being interviewed at that point?
As a witness.
Okay. And what about Aaron Schmidt?
Same thing, as a witness.
Okay. And what do you do with witnesses as far as gathering information from them? Do you memorialize that in any way?
Yes.
And how is that memorialized?
There's a couple of ways. First, as I said, there's video and audio in the room. If we use that room. And we also do paperwork that we fill out that's personal information and records, who was present and the date and the time of that interview.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, ma'am.
Investigator, I'm showing you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 13, and I want to know if you recognize that.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that document?
It is the witness interview worksheet that was completed for Mr. Schmidt.
Is that a exact duplicate of the original, other than the exhibit sticker?
Other than the exhibit sticker, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, at this time we would seek to admit State's Exhibit 13.
Any objection?
No, sir.
That exhibit's admitted, please. Yes, ma'am.
And if you would just explain what this document is.
It's a Columbia County Sheriff's Office witness interview worksheet. Up at the top, the very first line is going to wind up being the case number that was assigned to this incident. Interview and investigating officer name will be there. Also, the what ultimately ended up being the arrest date was filled in. Any charges that were subsequent to this interview. Name of the person interviewed and address, cell phone numbers, any kind of contact information, and then personal information about the person that we're interviewing, to include, I said height, weight, eye color, hair color, grade, and then guardians information.
Okay.
And then at the very bottom, which you can't see here, there at the very bottom, the date, the time that the interview was, the place, which is CID again, as they say, Criminal Investigations Division, and then the people that were present in the room during the interview, which was myself, Investigator Edmonds, and Mr. Schmidt.
And what time was this interview worksheet filled out?
It's 9:25, which is 7:25 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, 19:25,
Okay.
as indicated, and it's 7:25 p.m.
Okay. When the interview begins, is Aaron Schmidt under arrest?
No, ma'am.
And do you tell him that he is not under arrest?
Yes, ma'am.
And is he aware that his guardian, Ms. Chitty, is in fact at CID as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he also informed that she is aware that he is being talked to by you and Investigator Edmonds?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'm done with the lights for a little while. Initially, what is the story that Aaron Schmidt is giving you?
When we first asked him to tell us what happened, he indicated that he had gone up to tell Amanda that he was not going to be able to be at her house or be at the Calahan house for about 2 weeks because he was on restriction. He said he went back down towards his house, and as he was approaching his house, or the area around his house, he saw a person jumping what ended up being a little cable across the pathway to some property that is owned by his uncle. He said he's had problems, or his uncle's had problems with people being on that property before. They were either, trying to start fires or plant stuff on the property, doing things they're not supposed to be out there. So he decided to go ahead and check it out. He said he walked through the woods and come up to the back of the Calahan's property, and he saw this guy. He looked at him and then ran. He described him as a tallish person wearing grayish blackish pants, black boots, a black jacket, and a black beanie. So he said he was able to see his face, and he was pretty sure the guy was white. He said he thought it was kind of odd. He went up to check the house because he thought somebody might have broke in and then ran away. But then he tried to run around, and that's when he woke in and saw that there was a chair tipped over, and he saw what he thought was Kool-Aid on the floor. And he said he looked out the back door and saw drag marks. Just prior to this, he said he tried to tell Amanda what was going on. He initially thought, okay, I could tell Amanda. But as he approached the house, he saw that she was already in the truck and headed up the driveway. So he realized he couldn't catch her, so he went to the house. And that's when he saw the rest of this stuff. That was the initial version of what he told us.
Okay.
He said, and when he initially went out the back door, or went out the back door and saw the drag marks, that Amanda came back, and that's when he told her he thought something had happened, and they went out and subsequently found Amanda's body, and he tried to start helping with CPR.
Okay. And how long after the initial call was actually dispatched is this interview going on?
Within a couple of hours.
Okay. Does the story change?
It changed several times.
Okay. And what is the next account that he gives?
The next account was that he saw the guy running through the woods, and he was trying to follow him through the woods, and that as he ran up the driveway to try to stop Amanda, that he looked back, and that's when he saw this whitish, blackish man standing on the back porch at Amanda's house, and he ran off from the back porch. And that's when he went back down to the house, and he found the back door open and decided something was wrong and he needed to start trying to look for Amanda, and that's when Alana, and that's when Amanda came back, and then they went to start looking for him.
Okay. And during this entire conversation that you're having with him at this point, are you relaying this information back to individuals at the crime scene?
It was being relayed back, yes.
Okay. And was the information that he was providing you being actively pursued?
Yes.
And at this point, how long does the interview go on before, as he maintains that this person was in the woods and that they apparently did something to Alana?
It was a while. I mean, and you said, how long did this go back and forth between us and Aaron about the man? It was a while. I mean, he kept maintaining that it was this man, even though the description of the man changed several times as well as he was talking with us. But he kept maintaining that this guy had run through the woods and that he was out there, running around the property trying to find this guy. And it went back and forth for a little while. Okay.
Did he ever indicate whether or not he knew maybe who this person was?
Not initially, he didn't. I mean, eventually he did say that he, it started changing again, that he said that he did know who this person was. First it was unknown, and then it started changing into, yes, he did know who it was.
Who did he indicate maybe that this person was?
The first person that he said was a neighbor that had come up with him, and then he said it was, then he changed again and said that it was David Mathis.
Okay. And did he know the neighbor's name?
I think he said it was Bob.
Okay. And
well, no, I think Bob was one of the neighbors of the guy that he was talking about. I don't know that he ever gave us a name.
Okay.
He was just trying to indicate where this man lived.
Okay. And did he ever indicate whether or not he had fired a gun recently?
At one point.
And what did he indicate?
At first he was saying, let's see, I believe he said he shot a .22 rifle. He shoots .22 rifles, but as far as anything during this incident, initially he indicated that he didn't do anything, that that this was this other guy that had done this, and then eventually as the story progressed, he did say that he had the gun and it went off.
Okay. At what point, or at any point in this interview, is he no longer free to leave?
At a certain point, initially, no. I mean, initially he was free to leave, and then it became obvious at a certain point that, some things had changed, some circumstances had changed, and that's when he was not free to leave.
And was he read Miranda at that point?
Yes.
And what was it specifically that changed in your mind that he no longer was a witness and in fact now was considered a suspect?
That was at the point that he put the gun in his hand. Okay.
So prior to Miranda, it was someone else?
Prior to Miranda, it was always somebody else that had done this incident, that had done the shooting. But when he put the gun in his hand, that's when we stopped the interview and ran ahead and read Miranda. Okay. And, Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm showing you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit number 3. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that?
That is the Miranda sheet that I completed.
Okay. Is it an exact duplicate with the exception of the exhibit sticker?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the State would like to admit State's Exhibit number 3 into evidence.
Ms. Steincar?
No objection, Your Honor.
Exhibit 3 submitted.
And, Your Honor, may I publish this to the jury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Investigator, if you would go over this form as you would have gone over it at the time with the defendant.
I start out and I let them know that he was fixing to be advised of his Miranda rights, and I told him that he needed to listened to what I was saying and, let me know if he didn't understand anything that was going on, that not to do anything until he understood. If he had questions, make sure he asked. Then I started out and I read it. I did just basically verbatim from this. It's Columbia County Sheriff's Office, juvenile rights under Miranda. The date that was notated as 1/31/2011. The time was, that's a little blurry up here, 2050, which is 8:50 p.m. The location is CID, which is Criminal Investigations in Appleton, Georgia. Initially, I started out to notate his name as Aaron Schmidt, but I was advised his proper name was Lacy Aaron Schmidt, so I crossed that out and actually put Lacy Aaron Schmidt. His age was 14, date of birth 6/9. Having trouble seeing this.
Here, I can.
I'm sorry, 1996. Okay. The last grade completed, which that means the last grade that he has gone through at this point was the 8th grade, and he did that at Stalin Island. At this point, what I will normally do is ask them, do you have any problems with your reading, with what what you comprehend, any kind of comprehension problems, any kind of reading problems, or any kind of issues like that, just to satisfy in my mind that he's understanding what's going on. Legal guardian's name was Diana Chitty. That's his sister. The address, 1218 Miles Road, Harlem, Georgia, 30814. He was actually in the control of Diana Chitty, and her address is the same as the child. And then I proceed into the Miranda section, and I let him know, again, that I'm going to read this to him, and I want him to just, if he understands it, and all I'm asking him to do at this point is just that he understands what I'm going over, is just to initial saying that I've read it to him, and that he understands what I'm reading to him, and that if he has any questions, to let me know. And I proceed. That you have the right to remain silent. And he indicated that he understood by putting his initials. There was some question about what initials he was supposed to put, and I just told him, however he would normally notate his initials on something. Then I proceed to the next one. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. He indicated he understood by initialing. I have the right to consult with an attorney and have that attorney present during questioning. He indicated he understood that by initialing. If he cannot afford an attorney, one would be provided at no cost to represent him. And he indicated he understood by initialing. And he decided any time to exercise his rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. And he indicated he understood by initialing. Then you proceed to the last part of it, and I read this to him. I understand my rights under Miranda, and I waive those rights freely and voluntarily. I've not been threatened, I've not been coerced or promised anything. Parent guardian has granted permission, and I'm now willing to answer questions and or make a statement concerning the shooting of Alana Calahan. I asked him if he understood what that meant, and he indicated he did, and I asked him if he was wanting to still talk with us, and he indicated he would, and he signed there at the bottom. And then myself and Investigator Edmonds signed an indication that this was completed.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. And did Mr. Schmidt appear to be under the influence at that point of any alcohol or drugs?
No, he did not.
Did he appear to understand what you were asking him?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there any question in your mind about his intelligence as far as understanding you at that point?
Not at that time, no.
Okay. Was he able to articulate his thoughts to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What is his demeanor to you during this interview?
He stayed relatively calm throughout the whole interview.
Did you ever observe him to be crying?
There were several times where he began to get upset and said he was crying.
All right. And did he have any tears?
Not that I saw.
Okay. During this interview, does he ever mention to you how he became in possession of the gun box?
No, ma'am.
Or the ammunition?
No, ma'am.
what about the gun manual?
No, ma'am.
Did he ever explain how he became in possession of any of the MP3 players or iPods from the Calahan residence?
No, he did not.
Did he ever explain how he became in possession of the firearm?
He said that he got that firearm. Well, initially he said Alana got the firearm from the bedroom of her parents, the master bedroom.
Okay.
And then later on he said that he was the one that took it.
Okay. Did you have the occasion to walk the path or observe the path from where Alana's body was to the residence of the defendant?
I did.
And about how long would it have taken you to get that far on foot through the woods?
At a regular pace, a couple of minutes, maybe at the most.
Okay. And what about from the residence to the end of the driveway at the Calahan home?
About the same.
Okay. Based upon your investigation, how long after Amanda left the Calahan residence and then later returned with Chase, about how many minutes would that have been?
Within 10 minutes.
Okay. And based upon your experience out there and your observations out there, would he have had enough time to get Alana's body where it was, return the gun box to his home, and then return to the scene at the time that he got there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Would you say that it was possible or impossible?
It's not possible.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would seek to admit by stipulation States Exhibit 4 and 5, which are the recorded, or the CDs containing the recorded interview with Lacy Aaron Schmidt.
Ms. Dunkar, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. 4 and 5 are admitted by stipulation. You ready?
Officially been introduced yet, so I'll go ahead and let you know now. I'm Brian Jones. This is Jimmy Edmonds. We're both investigators with the Sheriff's Office, okay? I know you already talked to Sergeant Clark and gave him a little bit of information, which is on this sheet of paper right here. So I'll kind of skip over a lot of this. Just say, I'll just verify you 1218 Miles Road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Date of birth 6996.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know your social? If you don't, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm going to notate the day's date down here. And the time is about 7:25.
Sure. That was right.
Seems like a little bit late. First thing I want to let you know, we're here to talk to you about what happened out there, Miles Road. I want to let you know right quick, you're not under arrest. You're not in charge of anything. All we want to...
He's right.
No.
We haven't officially been introduced yet, so I'll go ahead and let you know now. I'm Brian Jones. This is Jimmy Edmonds. We're both investigators with the Sheriff's Office, okay? I know you already talked to Sergeant Clark and gave him a little bit of information, which is on this sheet of paper right here. So I'll kind of skip over a lot of this. Just say, I'll just verify you 1218 Miles Road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Date of birth 6.
Let me just ask the jury, can y'all hear it and understand it now? Is that better? Better, a little better. Nathan, is there anything we can do to get a little...
That's pretty much it, sir.
Can we get it any louder?
Well,
Without...
we won't get any worse speakers.
Tom was trying to get the volume without having feedback. All right. Let's give it a shot, man, DA.
on this sheet of paper right here, so I'll kind of skip over a lot of this, just say, I'll just verify you 1218 Miles Road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Date of birth 6/9/96.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know your social? If you don't, that's fine.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm going to notate today's date down here. And the time is about 7:25. Seems like a little bit later. First thing I want to let you know, we're here to talk to you about what happened out there, Miles Road. I'm going to let you know right quick, you're not under arrest, you're not in charge of anything. All we want to do is just try to figure out exactly what happened to you. So you're out there and you know the story. Your sister, Miss Chitty, is here. And
Diana Chitty.
Diana Chitty, yeah, she's here. We talked to her and she knows you're here. And I just want you to know that she is up here, and we have talked to her and let her know that we're going to be talking to you, which you pretty well knew that was coming, okay? First things first. Tell me what you know happened. I mean, start from the very beginning.
Well,
tell me what you know happened.
When I went up to the road because I know Amanda comes down to pick her up when it's raining. It was a little bit rainy earlier. Well, I went up to the road and told Amanda that I won't be able to come for 2 weeks because I got a restriction. 2 weeks. And I told her everything, and I was going back down to the house. And there's like a little gate right there, but there's a cable hanging there. But I saw somebody run across it and was hardtailing it. So my uncle don't like no one on land, and I have to get him off because, in the past there's people trying to start fires and stuff like that. Or try to plant something that don't need to be there. Well, I went to go see where he went. I was looking around. I went to go see if Amanda knew where he went. If she seen him or anything. But when I went to go she had to go follow her. She was already halfway down the road with the truck to go pick up little Chase from the bus. And when I went there, I said, I can't catch up with her in that truck. And I just stopped, and I went to go turn around to go back to the house. When I turned around, I saw somebody kind of tallish, because you know how far distant it looks like somebody's taller up in something higher, like on that back porch. Well, he was dressed in grayish, blackish pants, black boots, and a black jacket on, and a black beanie on. And he saw me and looked at me and ran. He was white. He was a white man. He ran away down to the creek bank, and I kind of thought that was kind of dumb because there ain't nothing down that way except the dead end. Except a little bit of four-wheel trails. So I went to go see if anything was gone or missing because you know how somebody tried to break in and go run away. I seen the chair knocked over, and I saw a bunch of reddish-looking stuff. I thought it was Kool-Aid myself. Because Amanda kept on saying it was Kool-Aid, and I said it didn't look like Kool-Aid. Okay. I went and looked out the back door, and I saw some, like drag marks. Well, I seen that, and I saw a bunch of more red stuff, and I figured out that when Amanda came up, that Alana was missing. And so I went out and started helping Amanda look for her, and I found Alana out on the side of that road. Weren't you there? Was you there?
At the scene?
Yeah.
I mean, afterwards, yeah, I came up.
Where she was laying all out, and I got Amanda. I got sick on my stomach. I didn't know what to do. I just grabbed the phone from her, and I was talking to some person talking about CPR, pressure on the middle of her chest 3 times and blow. And nothing was happening. I kept on telling them there's nothing happening. Except there's just a bunch of blood running out of her mouth. And that's about it.
Okay. When you came up initially, when you first came up,
Yes, sir.
how did you come up to the house? To Alana's house, Alana
I
Manny's
just
house?
walked right up in their backyard because I go to their house frequently because we negotiate like the family because I have to go there every day on a daily basis if I'm in trouble. Well, I just walked up and I didn't notice anything wrong because usually the front door is always open. But the back door, it was wide open. That's what I thought was strange.
Okay.
And I went out and tried to follow and run after Amanda and try to wave at her stop. but I couldn't get her attention. So I went back and went up to the house to see if Alana was still there.
Oh, hold on just a second. You said you came up from the trail, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're talking about that trail that you said leads. I mean, where does the trail lead? I mean, where are you coming from?
You know where the white pickup truck is sitting at?
Yeah.
Well, right there, that trail that leads all the way back there to a little gate.
Okay.
That leads in right in front of my house. That's why I seen that person running through there.
Okay. So you were coming from your house.
From the top of the road to talk to Amanda. Picking up Alana from the middle school bus.
Yeah, I thought you just said you came from your house up the trail and you were coming up that way, and that's when you saw the back door and all open.
No, I was coming up. When I talked to Amanda at the top of the road when she was going to pick up Alana because it was all rainy, I talked to her about why I can't go over there for 2 weeks, and that's why I ain't going to be over there. I was heading back down to the house, and Alana and Amanda was already headed down that way. It took me a little while to get back down to my house.
When you said the top of the road, where were you talking about at the top of the road that you saw?
Alana's driveway, Amanda's driveway.
Okay.
Because my house, a couple more houses down, a little bit further down.
Okay.
Because we made that little pass back there once a couple years ago because there's different people who live in that house. Because they just recently moved there. And my aunt was living there, and she had kids, and the people behind her had kids, and they cut a trail. They made a four-wheeler trail and go-kart trail.
Okay.
Because all it did made a little U.
Okay. So you talked to them. How did you get from your house?
I walked down that main road, and I saw somebody run across, I don't know if you know all the way down, because I don't know if you went down the trail. Because, when I walked down there, I saw somebody just run and jumped over the cable and kept on running.
Okay.
And I went to go see who it was, because I told you that my uncle don't like going out there.
Okay.
So I decided to go follow him and try to see who it was. And I didn't find anybody.
Were you running after him?
I was trying to run, but I can't. I hate it. Because I kind of cracked it on top of my right there. I did something bad to it. I don't know what I did.
Okay.
And I tried to run. I couldn't. So I kind of sped walk. You know how to do that? Well, speed walk. And I tried to run down the road to try to catch up with Amanda and try to wave at her. I couldn't get her attention, so I just stopped and I turned around. But when I turned around to go back to the house, if Alana was there, just to ask her if she's seen anybody. But that's when I saw that black dude, blackish figure in the back door, but it was actually a white dude.
Okay. Is that the same person that you saw jumping the fence?
Yes,
Or
sir.
the
All black. Like gray slackish pants.
Okay, so what did you first see? This guy dressed in dark clothes,
When he went and jumped over the cable.
which is where?
Down the road a little bit further. If you on the main Miles Road, kept on going, it leads you down to a stop sign that says take a right to Coon Circle. Well, right there's a cable right there because we had to put it up because we was trying to keep people off it because they kept around their four-wheelers and stuff down through there.
Okay.
And that's where I seen him when I was coming around that corner. And I was looking directly down there, and somebody just ran and jumped over the cable and kept on running
Okay. Which way were they running?
down the trail.
From
From Miles Road?
No, down to the back, on the trail, going upwards, down in somewhere in there, to Calahan's backyard.
Where were you at?
Yeah.
On the main road.
So you were on Miles Road.
Yes, sir. Walking down back to the house, and I saw somebody jump over the cord, and I just decided to follow them, try to see what they're doing. But I didn't see anybody else, and I went down there to see if Amanda or anybody else seen him. So I
I thought you turned around to get Amanda.
Yeah, I went to go to Callahan's house, but when I went to go to him, the truck was halfway down the thing to go get Chase.
The driveway?
Yeah.
So you saw her leaving?
And I kept trying to run after her and try to wait and try to say, hey, stop real fast, but I couldn't get her attention.
And that's after you came into the backyard and saw the back door open.
Yeah, because I thought Alana was home.
But you said also that you didn't see where the black guy or the guy in the dark clothing went.
Yeah,
But you ran up and you could get all the way up into the backyard at the Calahans, enough to where you could see Amanda going down the road. But you didn't notice him then? You made contact with him?
no, when I turned around, the Callahan's main road is, I was on that road and I turned around and I saw him. And he turned off and ran.
You saw him on the back porch, I think so.
Yeah, on that back porch.
How could you see him on the back porch from the main road?
Because I was halfway down the driveway. You can see halfway onto all the way to the house because we haven't cleared it out.
On which side of the house?
On the back side of the house, in the corner.
I thought the main road
Yeah,
in the
you
front
see
of the
the front
house.
of the house, but when you keep on going down a little bit further, you can see part of the back of the sides, the back door.
How far away from the house would you say that was?
Probably good far ways, because all I seen was the black person, blackish, but I saw a white face.
You saw a black person or a white person?
I want to say black, but it's not, because he's all dressed in black, but you can see his face, he's white.
And this is the same person who
Jumped over the
jumped
cable.
over the fence or the cable up towards your house, going down there that you followed.
Yes,
How
sir.
far in there did you follow him?
I lost his trails, and I started looking all the way around down there. You know, I'm going to try to say that you know where I live and everything, but it's not. You don't. Well, if you keep on going down there, I was looking around in that field area, see if he was hiding around in there, but I didn't see him. So
So instead of just coming on up to the trail to the Callahan's house, what did you do?
I was looking around to see if he went down to, there's a creek down if he kept on going down that way. Well, if you know where that main road is, if he kept on going straight, it leads down to a creek. Well, on my side of the property, we got a creek, and so I started glancing through there, and I didn't see anything like being run through, leaves being turned over. I didn't see none of that.
Okay.
I decided to keep on looking, so I just kept on looking. I didn't see nothing else, and I went up there to go and try to get Amanda or Alana.
And when you come up from the creek, where did you come up from the creek at?
Out of that main area. I'm gonna say there's two trails.
Maybe I'm having some problems here. I just want to make sure we're all on the same sheet of music. Yeah. Here's some tissues down there. Let me grab that box of tissues down there. Just on this board, just for the best you can, indicate where the house is, where the road is, the main road, the link, and all this other stuff.
I gotta erase that one, because if you want the main of everything.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Callahan.
All right.
Well, there's their backyard. Well, there's this trail that leads all the way back here. That loops around a little bit, and leads out like that.
Okay.
And leads to my house.
Okay.
But over here is a field,
Okay.
and that's my house over here at the end of the cable.
Okay.
This cable leads right here, a little like that, a little bit just like that.
Yep.
And it goes like that.
Yep.
Well, right here I got a thing down here. This would be the Callahan's road.
And that's the road that runs in front of the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But it keeps on going down to the creek.
Okay.
Well, I got this trail that, I don't know, it goes everywhere. That leads all the way down to the creek. Here's this one that goes all over here. It just stops because it leads to a deer stand. And this bottom one, on down the creek bank, it leads to their road.
Okay.
And there's a little trail that right here on that road that swoops around and leads right to their backyard. And I came right through there. And it was really close to the house. And I just went up there, but I couldn't catch up with Amanda because she was heading off.
Okay, so you came up from here.
Yes, sir.
So where were you at when you started?
Well, up the top of their road. Because tell Amanda I couldn't
Okay.
be able to go to their house.
Okay. And then you did what?
and I went right back down to my house. But when I got around a little curve, here is Miles Road, because it keeps on going.
Mm-hmm.
On Miles Road, there's a bunch of curves and everything. When I went around one curve, I seen him jump over the cable and kept on running.
This cable?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He kept on running.
Which way?
He kept on running straight. He didn't go off because he can't go off in Bob's yard because Bob, he would shoot. I know he would.
Okay.
He's always up.
Okay.
He's always outside.
Okay.
And right on the other side, there's a fence until it hit Callahan's yard.
Okay.
And so he could have has to stay in that one area.
Okay.
So,
What did you do?
So I just went right through the trails, and I just went on through here to this back trail. And I stopped, and I didn't see nobody in their backyard or anything, but I noticed the back door was open. But I wasn't paying a little too much attention about it. Anybody trying to break in. So I just walked back, and there's that field. So I walked back, because right here, where Alana was sitting at, where her body, it leads right back here to the field. Because there's this open area over here on the other side of the house. Over here, there it leads to another trail to that field.
Okay.
But I didn't go that trail because I don't know if anybody wanted me to go on that trail because that's their property. So I just decided to turn it back around, and I'm going to scan around to that field, and I scan out to the bottom to that trail. I'm just scanning out. And I ended up at the bottom of the creek, and I came up, and I was looking around, didn't see anybody. And I went up. I know how you can go up the diameter and you lead to another trail. So I lit it up here and went to the backyard and went to Amanda, tried to catch up with Amanda, but she was already leaving.
Okay. At what time did you see the guy on the back porch?
When I just quit running for it. I don't know what time because...
No. Where were you at?
Oh, up on that road, halfway up here.
So you were already up here. You'd already gone back out and tried to make contact with the man. You were on up here.
Yes, sir.
Good ways, you say?
Yeah. Yeah, ways you can see the back porch and the other porch in the back where the door was open at.
Okay. All right. Okay. Got my head around that a little better. Okay. So after you try to make contact with the man and you realize she's too far up the road for you to make contact with, you do what?
So I just stopped and I turned around to see if Alana was home.
Okay.
But that's when I seen that tallish, blackish dude, but he ain't black, he's white.
Okay.
But I seen his face.
All right.
And he just took off and ran down to, this main creek.
Yeah,
So he
so
ran down there.
you're coming down off this main road here.
Yes,
the
sir.
driveway. And you look and you see this guy on the back porch
Where the main door was open at.
Okay, so he's up by the back door. And you can see him up by the back door.
Yes, sir.
From up here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're near this open area.
Okay.
Where I quit it, ended because you can see it go a little bit backwards.
Okay, so you said he ran, and where did he ran? You said back down toward the
He
creek?
just ran down here to the creek. There's a little driveway down there.
So he ran from the back of the house,
Yes, sir.
outside yard, and down there?
Down
That's the
that
driveway?
Yes, sir. Down to the
Okay.
creek.
And you went where?
I was looking to see if anything was disturbed. I wasn't going to chase him because I couldn't really run for him.
Okay, so where did you check for things being disturbed?
The Callahans, they leave their door open. All I do is open the door and say, "Hello, I'm here." Well, that's what I did, but the computer chair was tipped over. I've seen a bunch of red, and that got me kind of worried and kind of thinking that something happened. But first, I thought Alana had done spilled her Kool-Aid and was running around, but no one answered, and that's when something popped up in my head that something bad happened. And I went up there and looked at the back door and looked around. There was more red and leading out to the back. That's when Amanda was coming back up. I was looking around, looking around in the yard, and Amanda asked why I was still back in the yard. I said I seen somebody run up into my yard, that back area. And I was seeing if y'all was there, but I can't find Alana.
Okay.
And where did you talk to her at?
When she pulled up, came inside,
But
I was coming back in.
coming back in which way?
from the front door. Because I was checking out through the creek bank to see if he tried to ditch your body. Because there's another trail right here, at least the Callahan's backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the first thing I checked, and I just looped around, went back up to the house.
All right.
And that's when Amanda was already there.
Hang tight just a second. You're inside the house. Okay? You walk in the front door. What did you do when you walk in the front door?
I noticed, well, I took off my shoes because you can't walk in the house with the shoes on the carpet because that's main rule.
Okay.
So I went out there and looked around, and I was looking around. I was too figure around with my shoe because I saw a bunch of red and I saw that black trail. But I was not even worried about the black trail. But I don't know.
What black trail?
It was like a black trail, but we take out garbage to take out to the burning pit to burn. Well, not garbage, but cardboard boxes and stuff like that. That's why I wasn't too worried about it until I ran down the trail and looked down that way, and I saw something bluish. And that's when I seen Alana, and I went up to see if she was all right. And she wasn't moving or nothing. She had all her red face.
So this is after you saw that you were in the house, you went out, you saw the drag mark, and then you went to see Alana, and then what did you do?
Well, Amanda was there at the time when I went outside again. Well,
Maybe you might have been getting ahead of me. I'm not sure, because I think you're in the house.
yeah, I'm looking
You
around.
take your shoes off. You go in the house. Say, I'm here.
Yeah,
You look around.
yeah. I noticed that the chairs tipped over and a bunch of reds on the
What you thought
The
was?
shade.
You said you thought was Kool-Aid.
yes, sir.
Okay.
And I said hello a couple more times and no one answered. And I looked out the door and there's a bunch of blood on the porch. Well, red on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's blood now because there is someone dead or wounded.
Okay. All right. So then what'd you do?
Then I walked out around the house and I didn't notice anything strange that way. So I decided to walk down their creek bank.
When you left the house, which way did you go? Front door, back door?
I went out the back door and was looking around to see if I could see Alana. And I was out there barefooted, well, in my socks.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking around, and Amanda was already pulled up, and was coming up already in, and I was looking around.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back around in front, got my shoes on, and I said, I don't know where Alana is. Is Alana with you? And she wasn't with her, and that's something pointed up. And we went out there and was looking for her. Well, Amanda got in the truck and was speeding forward to that back trail where I was showing you that leads up to here, because she said she didn't care about what my uncle said.
Okay.
She was looking for her sister.
Okay.
And then
Where were you at?
I was, well, this back trail, this is where Alana was laying. Well, I ran this way from that back porch and was going down that way again. But when I turned around and walked out in front of that third pile, I was looking down that trail, and that's when I saw Alana. And I got an upset stomach, and I was feeling woozy. And Amanda saying, where's she at? Where's she at? And I was saying, down that trail, and she's saying, which trail? The one behind me? That one or that one? I said, that one over there. And she seen her, and she ran over there and called 911 and just started screaming and crying.
Okay. So when Amanda came in, where did Amanda come in?
To the front door.
And where were you?
I was down here, lowest down here in that trail.
Okay. How did you get out of the house?
Through that back door. That was
Okay.
open.
When you went out of the back of the house, and you were out the back. You were in the house. Where did you go? You went out of the back of the house, and where did you go from there?
I went over there to computers and was.
No. When you came out the back door, what did you do when you came out the back
I
door?
was just looking around, seeing if I seen anything strange.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went on down to that creek bank area, and I stopped, and I just turned around right down here. And I wasn't going to go fill far down there anymore because I already been down there. So I just went up to their house, went to the front door, and Amanda was already in there. Was yelling for Alana and Chase.
Okay.
And I said, "Is Alana with y'all?"
Okay. So then what did you do?
And I put on my shoes and I went out and helped Amanda look for her.
Who went out first?
Amanda and
Okay.
Chase.
Amanda and Chase went out first. You put your shoes on. You went out where?
I went back out the front door, and I was looking out through here because she first went up through the top of the road, that main road again, and was looking out around and going slowly, just skinning out through the side of the roads.
Okay.
And she turned around and was coming through here. And that's when I turned around, and I went past that burning pile, I saw her.
Okay.
Where you said you got sick, you throw up?
I couldn't throw up because I didn't eat anything back today. Besides just a few minutes ago in that man's room. And a couple of bags of pretzels.
So when Amanda, she pulled it back here by this trail, right?
Yes, sir. No, she went through her backyard
Right.
to my trail.
Back here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, where were you at when she?
I was standing halfway in front of that trail, right around.
So you were on the driver's side?
But you know what that burning pile is? That big old burning pile?
I know where her truck was.
Yeah,
Where it was
and right
parked.
behind it is a big old pile of sticks and stuff like that.
Okay, so her.
And I was standing right there beside it, and I saw something blue, and that's when I saw her.
And Amanda was already back here?
She was already starting to pull in, going that way, and she saw me turn around. She's like, "What's the matter?" And I told her why. And she's saying, where's she at? And I'm telling her, she thought I was talking about this trail, but I was saying that trail. And she ran over and started screaming and crying.
Let me ask you this. This is about really the only thing that's I'm not really sure about. When you looked out the back door and you saw what you said by then you knew was blood, and you saw the drag marks. All right.
We dragged the garbage out.
Okay. But you said you already saw the blood. By this time you had already seen the guy in the dark clothing twice. Saw him at least once at the back door or whatever. And you walk in and you see this blood and you see this drag mark leading to that trail over here. Why didn't you follow it?
Because I thought it was because a couple of days ago, me, Chase, and Little Paul, because they got another little brother that's got after school that comes at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we was taking out garbage the other day, going out around that tree, because if we kept on going straight, there's like a metal chain out there that we can't hardly notice. But if we drag it over, it's going to rip open the bag and it's going to spill out all that garbage everywhere.
Okay.
So he's telling us to go that way, and that's when I thought, I'm used to that black mark, not until...
I mean, I could understand a black mark as far as just a regular black mark that you've seen there all the time. But black mark, and the first part of the black mark is up on the porch. And what's up on the porch?
There's red blood.
Okay. I kind of don't understand why, if you'd already been all around that area of the creek.
Down here.
Well, you said you've been all over there.
Going down through here in that back trail.
Okay, but
You're in the backyard when you come out the back door, right?
yeah,
Yes, sir.
and you turn immediately and go back down the way that you just had already checked. I mean, you came from your house all the way down that trail, all along, searching the fields, looking around, come all the way back up the front of the house, and go all the way down, halfway down the driveway, look at that field, look through that field to see the guy on the back porch, apparently. Come back around, go in the house, come through the house, see the blood, see the drag trail, leading right back around to the only area where you have not been. And what do you do when you come out of the back door again? You go immediately back down to the other area which you've already checked, which you said that you already knew he wasn't down there.
No, down here. I knew he wasn't down there. I did not check this one trail right to there.
Yeah, but I mean, is there anything that would have led you to believe that he would have hung around in that one trail? I mean, you've been all over that area, all through there.
I don't know. All I did was check real fast if he was still lingering around the edge of the
I mean,
woods.
you told me earlier that you saw him. He ran down this way.
Yeah.
You know, when I first seen him.
Yeah.
Well, the second time seeing him on the back porch, he jumped off the back porch and was running down to that way.
Yeah.
Down to the creek.
Down here. So you come out the back door to check to see if anything's missing or out of place, and you find drag marks that are out of place, right?
Well, I'm used to those black drag marks because that's what I was telling y'all about. I've taken out
Okay, so
bags of
you saw him go down this way, and you're looking around to see the nigga. Why did you come over here?
because I thought he would still be lingering around. I want to say left something, but he didn't.
What do you mean?
Like he's trying to linger around, trying to come back and get something. That's why I didn't double check it because I've never been on that one trail. So I just went down there and looked real fast and came back down this road. And I didn't worry about that part. So I just went back up to the house and Maddie was already in the house. Because she pulled up with Chase and they went inside and I went inside and got my shoes. And they asked if they seen Alana and I said, no, have y'all? And that's when that thing went out.
Did you bother to tell Amanda at the time that she said, hey, have you seen Alana? Did you bother to tell her about the blood on the back porch or the blood?
Yeah, she's seen it. She's seen everything. She's seen everything. She's the second person who went over there and looked at the computer area.
Did you say, tell her about the blackish white guy that was on the back porch?
I told her everything. That's when she got in the truck and was going around.
You told her he was on the back porch?
I told her everything.
The only thing I can tell you is, I can understand most everything you're telling me. And you have to kind of go with me here on this. Do you know anything about how kind of this thing works as far as, crime scene investigations and all that kind of stuff? You know how any of that works? I mean, you ever seen anything like CSI or anything like that?
Well, I have, but I'm not really paying attention to it.
Don't really pay attention to it. I mean, I don't know if you like it or not, but that's, kind of part of this falls into that CSI kind of thing. No, we don't do it all in 1 hour and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it takes a little bit longer, but one of the things that we did is we had dogs come out. I don't know if you saw them or not.
I saw one.
Saw one. There was at least 2 we had out there. And do you have any idea what those dogs do?
No, not really. All I know from one time from Jersey T last Thursday, we had like a little event for the military. They're showing off the dogs, little tricks. They smell out like weapons, stuff like that, drugs, bombs, stuff like that.
Yeah. And also ours,
And guard dogs.
people.
Tracking dogs.
Tracking dogs. And we had not 1 but 2 dogs go all over that area, from the back of the house all the way back down that trail as far as they could go, back down toward the creek and all over that area. And you know what thing they didn't find? They didn't find a trail. The dogs kept kind of looping back around back to the house. I'm trying to wonder if there was another person down there besides you that was leaving a trail down there that was doing all that running around that you said you saw him doing. Why wouldn't we have a trail back there for that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, sir.
Then they could pick something off of that. And we're able to do that either. So I'm just wondering if maybe you could kind of fill in some blanks for me there on I mean, these dogs are trained. I mean, they're trained.
I know they're trained. They're trained to do their job.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I do know about the dogs. The dogs don't have to worry about back talking us, or the dogs don't have to worry about second guessing. Once you put them down there, they just run and smell.
But all dogs do.
Pretty much other than eating or pooping, right?
Yeah.
But if I've got a dog down there and I've got not one, we think, well, maybe that dog's not having a good day. Because I know, like people, they don't have good days sometimes. Not always, not a whole lot, but sometimes they're, So we put 2, just to be on the safe side. Did the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. not trying to say anything one way or the other. We're trying to get a big picture because.
Yeah, you're trying to, but it kind of don't throw out a good picture because dogs can't get no sun.
Well, it would be different if it was some, maybe. Because we've had that before. Well, maybe. I mean, I got all the way down as far as here, but that's about it. I'm talking about zilch, none, zero. I'm talking about running around down there all throughout that area where you said you saw this person running and nothing. I mean, the dog didn't even act like it was even, neither one of them.
Because right where that fence is, I was following footprints. That's why.
Well, and that's where I was going with it too, because they went down there and the handlers have somebody with them called a spotter.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the spotter's job is?
To see if he sees anything.
And to take care of the handler and make sure, because the handler's concentrating on the dog. If the dog does anything that says, we've got something here, the handler's going to see that. The spotter looks around the handler. So if he sees anything or anybody or anything of any kind of, significance, he'll know where it is and he can mark it. So in case they have to come back. Nothing. Not footprints, not nothing. You know how muddy it was. I mean, you see all this mud right here. He's got it all over his pants, and you got a little bit of there too. But I was walking around and stuff, and I was trying to be careful, and I was stomping all through it. And I mean, there was all kind of footprints and stuff down there. But get off down in that muddy area down there around that creek, and there was
No suction cup.
yeah, but there was nothing. So unless this person evaporated,
Not yet, no such thing.
so what does that lead us? What does that lead us back to?
Almost leads back to me. But maybe it leads to.
Is there any chance that maybe there wasn't that second guy, that other guy?
It wasn't another guy.
Well, I mean, but you just said yourself. I mean, people don't just evaporate into thin air.
I know what you're saying, but I know I wouldn't hurt him long.
Didn't think you would.
Because I treat her like my sister.
And that's where I was going to go with it. I mean, from what I understand, you're very good with her.
We've been good friends ever since she moved there.
Yep. I mean, did y'all date it ever?
At the first, but kind of went out. So then we just became friends because she says if it don't work out, let's just be real friends. But let it do that, and let's be real good friends.
Okay. Real good friends. And from what I gather from everybody that I've talked to, that we've talked to, that's what they said. I don't think, by any stretch of the imagination, that what happened was something that was malicious. I mean, that's another thing that we can kind of tell. When we see these things and we were trying to put two and two together here, we want them to add up to four. You know? And it's just a matter of getting a few pieces of the puzzle together to kind of get there. And one of those huge pieces of the puzzle that didn't fit was that fact about the guy. But the other one is, we can kind of tell that this is not something that we think that was just a malicious deal. I mean, truth be known, it could have been an accident.
Yes, sir.
I mean, things could have happened, and it might have been one of them unfortunate deals. I mean, I don't know, there was a movie out at one time called Lemony Snicket's, a series of unfortunate events.
I've seen that.
I hadn't either. I just heard the title and it kind of fits. Kind of in a series of unfortunate events. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody went out here and planned to do this, like some cold-hearted, callous person did, but maybe, just maybe, things happen in such a way that it was an accident. Didn't mean for it to happen. And, they happen, and we try to get past them, and, the person that, did these things is extremely, extremely sorry for it and wants things to be different more than anything in this world wants things to be different. The only thing that I could tell a person in that situation would be what we know we can work with, what we don't know, we'll have to add our own thing to the equation and come out with four. And sometimes, that doesn't always look good.
Yes, sir.
So the only thing I'm telling you is, if you'll help me, I'll try to do everything I can to make sure that we keep this straight and that we give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but certain things I don't think are adding up, and I don't want to wind up going out of here and giving anybody the wrong impression about things. Is there anything that you need to change about what happened?
No, there's nothing I know that is changeable, because I know I didn't put nothing in there that I did. Because I can't do stuff like that.
You can't do stuff like what?
Try to hurt her. She's actually a nice person. I almost know.
Sure. Well, I mean, I get that, but that's what I'm saying. But if there is stuff there that says you were there, how are we going to get around that? Because there again, I mean, CSI, the way it works is we find things. Sometimes we don't find anything. Other times we find stuff. And when we find stuff, you know, it's got to come from somewhere.
There's got to be an explanation.
You got to be. And there ain't but one explanation. Well, there's two explanations. There's what I can make of it, or there's what I'm told. I'm trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt without trying to put words in their mouth or without trying to make anything of it.
I'm trying to think that something else happened, but it didn't happen.
I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
What do you think happened?
I don't know what really happened. All I saw was, when I say, I opened the door, it said, hello, I'm here. Because...
What do you think happened to her? To her mom?
When I first seen her on the ground, like how she was, I first thought she was raped or something bad happened.
And you could tell this how? You said when you first saw her, you could tell that. How?
I don't know how. It's just where no one would just come up and just hurt her. She's actually, she don't let anybody try to touch her inappropriately.
Okay.
It's one thing she don't do.
Do you think somebody might have been there and maybe tried to go a little further than what she was comfortable with?
I don't know.
Because quite honestly, that's maybe what I was kind of thinking. That, you know, maybe somebody was there and maybe they were talking and cutting up and, you know, one thing led to another and, you know, things went a little bit out of hand. But there again, that's just kind of what I think. Could that be a possibility?
I don't know. All I saw was what I told you. That black person. Well, not black person because it's all
Well,
black.
we've already pretty much established wasn't there.
Yeah, that's what you always saying.
Well, I mean, that's what the evidence is showing us.
Well, the dogs and everything like that.
Dogs, lack of footprints, lack of anything else that tells me. Because, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I could walk up there and I could see Nikes on the ground. I could see legs.
You go through my gate, you see boot prints. You can see how they run because at the front tip.
We had officers to do that.
All the way to the cable. Because when I came through there, the first thing went after is the footprints.
This morning?
No, when I was coming back from around that curve, coming from the top of the road.
You said this morning. The first thing you did this morning when you went down through
Oh,
there.
my bad if I said morning. Because this morning I went to school. Because the first thing I did was looking for footprints.
But Aaron, let me ask you this. What point would it be for me to sit here and try to trick you?
There isn't.
There isn't none, right?
That ain't a job.
Then you look at me and you listen to what I'm saying. I'm not trying to trick you. I am absolutely not trying to make you out to be an idiot. Nothing. I'm talking serious business here. And when I tell you, there's nothing we've got right now to show that there was a man there, period. Nothing. Nothing. We're trying. You saw those cars that were out there, right? There was more cars that you didn't see that were all the way up the road, both sides, all the way around. They had that area cordoned off because when they hear somebody ran, the first thing they want to do is set up a perimeter. There were perimeter cars set up. Nobody saw anything.
There's no footprints. And as muddy as it was, there's going to be.
And on top of that, how would somebody know to come down there with just this blazing streak of luck to get down there and to get in and get out and get gone in 10 minutes? Because I haven't even really gone there yet. That's another thing that really just don't add up, buddy. It just don't. I mean, I can do a lot of things. But one thing I can't do is zip down a trail and do all that zippity-doo-dah and he supposedly did in 10 minutes. And you supposedly running all the way too.
I was looking everywhere for him.
But you never crisscrossed, did you?
I've never seen him.
You never seen him again after you said you saw him jump the fence and then you saw him over there at the back door. You never saw him again, right?
Not again.
He had 10 minutes. Believe me, I only know of one person that I know of that can make the illusion of that, and that's Chris Angel, the magician. But then again, I think that's all cameras and mirrors anyway. I don't really believe that he disappears.
I don't even watch that.
Well, and it's probably not worth your time anyway, because it's all a bunch of garbage, magic, junk. They don't matter to nothing. I'm talking about real world here. I'm talking about real world people here. You and I, flesh and blood, flesh and bone, that leave stuff behind us that tell us, we were here. And I go, and we look all over that area with one and then another dog, and they don't find anything. And I can't, for the life of me, figure out how he would have flown in there and flown out in 10 minutes, much less anything else.
I was going to go back to this real quick. When you saw him, you came down through the path, was looking for him, and came back up to the house. When you came out, Amanda was already going down the road, right?
Yes, sir.
So then you go to the door and go inside.
Yes, sir.
Now, how? I mean, Amanda's just leaving the house. She hadn't been gone 30 seconds, let's say, but she's right there, still out front, right?
No, she's heading down, halfway down the road.
A minute, two. I mean, it take long to get there down that right, a minute or two. So she's just left the house a minute or two, and by the time you're there, so, we don't even have a 10-minute time for this to happen.
Well, that's true too.
We're talking a minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah, at the
That
most.
she leaves, and there's nobody there. Alana's there. So she leaves, gets in the car, pulls down the road. You're showing up. So how's this guy already in the house? It's physically impossible.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? She had just left. And when she left, this guy wasn't there.
And she knows this. She knows you were there. And you went directly in the house. And you didn't see him. And you didn't see Alana. Nope.
So,
there was no 10 minutes.
Anybody to be there?
There was no time for anybody to be there.
It's kind of sounding like y'all are trying to say that I did something that I know I didn't do.
We're trying to fill
I
in.
know what y'all saying, but it's kind of saying that, it makes it sound like it's coming directly back to me. Like I did something wrong.
What we're trying to get at here is we're trying to find out everything that happened.
Which I'm trying to tell you, but
if there's this, I know you're trying to tell us about this blackish white guy that, if he doesn't exist,
this person, I wouldn't be sitting here. I would have already confessed a long time ago that I did something which I won't do because I don't do that. I don't.
You call from the GSR.
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah.
Right. Right, how many were painted?
I didn't.
So that's what. Can you get both for it?
Huh?
Yeah,
I'll be out of here. I'll be right around the corner. All right. Unless you leave one of us in here. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Gunshot residue kit.
Well, it's gonna get it all over me.
Huh?
It's gonna get me all over.
What is that?
Because just 2 days ago and yesterday, me and my cousin were target practicing.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's your cousin's name?
Tommy.
Tell me what.
Didn't I?
What kind of guns y'all shoot?
22.
22. What, rifle or pistol or what?
Rifle.
Rifle. You like guns?
Not really. I know they do bad, but
Yeah.
hunting will.
It might just be the person that got the gun that does bad, maybe. How'd you get that on your finger?
I clipped my finger in a fence
No, really?
today. I was getting a dog, his dog collar, because it snapped the other one.
Right.
So I went and got him a new one. It's hard to say.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, look here. I'm not worried about you having gunshot powder residue on your hand. It's when the powder that matches up that's on that girl's face becomes about the same powder that's on that.
Yes, sir.
That's when we got a problem, because all powder
Equals the same.
is not the same. They're all different.
No, I'm talking about whatever powder's on the same things.
If this powder right here that I just took off your hands, if it comes back as the same powder that's on that wall in there, then there's a problem. So it don't matter if you tell me you shot a gun yesterday. I ain't worried about that. I'm trying to match what's on your hand to what's on that girl. And I'll know that in about 30 minutes. Put your other hand on here. You know what CSI?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I wish it was that easy. I wish I could solve something within an hour, even with the commercials. So here's what I would do if I were you.
I need to tell the truth.
Can I finish?
I would, because I got more than a 22 bullet residue on my hands.
What other kind of residue you got on your hands?
I got, because right after we shot that, we went and got a dude named David down the road from my house. David and Tyler hung because Tyler was over his house. So they decided to bring a couple of their guns with them.
Well, if I need to go and find the guns that you know you shot and the residue's going to be in your hand, where them guns at?
Going to be in my closet and my uncle's closet in front of his door.
Okay.
I need you to do the same also.
All right. Makes sense.
Where you walking?
I'm never getting home tonight. Well, here's all I do is show up and take the samples.
Yes, sir.
But I'm telling you, science don't lie. If what I've got right here is on that girl, and you've been sitting here not telling these guys the truth, and I have to go through all the trouble to find out about it, it's going to look a whole lot worse. So, you know, something's happened, it's happened, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, what sink you want me to do?
That man in the bathroom over there. Can we go over there? Yeah, I've been in the bathroom.
Hey! Yeah,
There's a phone, bro.
Thank you.
All right. Where we at? That's something. But you saw her mom when you were sitting out there. You saw what happened to you up there. Okay. First thing she deserves to know what happened to her daughter. Good as she's been, I think she deserves to know.
I'm fine. I go out straight with you.
Please do.
But I was not the only person there.
Okay.
But I did not shoot the gun.
Okay.
I was actually trying to stop it.
Okay.
Well, I did see the person jump it, the fence and everything. I kind of did do that, but I went straight to the house. But when I went in, and a gun was shot. And when that happened, he pointed the gun at me, and I got scared. I'm sorry for lying at y'all.
Who had to go?
Like I was saying, this tallest dude, I don't know who is true. I don't know his name, though. I know what's the truth, and I'm trying to give the truth, but every time I try to say it right now, it comes right back down to me.
We know.
I was not the only person there, I swear to God. If I had a video camera, I would have put it on.
Let me see something. Let me sit down with you. No, lift him up. Lift him up. Lift him up. Okay. Here's yet another piece of the puzzle.
On top of my foot.
On top of your feet. How is it you get blood on top of your feet walking around on it in the floor?
I'm trying to tell y'all, but I just have to tell y'all that one part.
Okay.
Because it aimed the gun at me. And I didn't know if it was going to shoot.
Where did the gun come from?
Huh?
Where did the gun come from?
So I don't know, sir. He was going to aim it at me. And tell me with his dirty word.
What kind of gun did it look like?
It looked like a 9mm.
Okay.
To be honest.
Guess what we found as far as around that target practice area out there? Guess what we found?
What?
9mm casings.
What?
Around that target area that you said you and they were target practice. Remember, you heard you say it? Your target practice?
But I never knew about a 9mm. Only knew about 308.
We found some casings around there, so obviously we know there's a 9mm up there somewhere. What's going to happen if they find that gun? And it's got your fingerprints on it, and on top of that, it's got gunshot residue on your hand. How are we going to explain that?
I'm sorry. I know.
You are.
I'm sorry, but I did not shoot her.
Did you see it happen?
Yes, sir. I had to ditch the weapon.
You had to ditch the weapon?
Sir.
Where did you ditch the weapon at?
It's over there near those bushes near the truck. I had to help him move the darn body. I didn't want to. I treated him like him. He kept on aiming the gun at me though, and telling me to do it. So every time I do stitch on him, he was going to get me. I'm scared.
But he had the gun on you. But then you took it.
Then he threw the gun down and ran.
You had to ditch it, and then you ran out, and you tried to look for him, and he was gone at that point.
Yes.
Why would you tell Amanda?
Because she was trying to say I was being mad. And trying to hurt Alana.
How would that be?
Oh, no, sir.
Once again, he's not listening.
I know.
Listen to me. The only way we're going to do anything as far as trying to explain to Alana's mom what really happened is for you to just go ahead and let us know what happened. And
I'm telling you right now, the guy.
You're telling us some. Listen to me. It's not all.
I did not pull the trigger.
If we find the gun and we find the fingerprints on the trigger and we find all that stuff, it's yours. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I know because I took off my shoes and I went there and helped that dude to move the fire.
But the blood's on the top of your feet. So,
I know because I had to lift up the body.
Why didn't he do it?
He said he didn't want to get any blood on him. I don't know if it's down on his shoe. I don't know him. It was some kind of short, brownish person. He had a t-shirt.
You just said before it was a tall black.
I know, but I had to say that so he don't get on me. I know who he is, though. I know who he is, but I don't know his name.
Where does he live?
He's a guy who likes shooting all his weapons. Down the road. Yeah, I probably think I'm lying about it.
Aaron, I don't think you're lying. I think you're scared to death. And I think you're trying to figure out a way to make some sense out of what happened. But there ain't but one of two ways I can look at this. And you go with me on this. We all know, sitting in this room, there was no second man. Listen to me.
I'm not lying about the guy.
Listen to me.
I did not stand there making up this lie about this dude standing there with it.
Listen to me. Aaron, you gonna listen to me?
Yeah.
I can tell you, with every bit of certainty of us sitting here, just like he can, there was no other man. So this boils down to one of two things.
Please, right down to me.
No, listen to me. It is either somebody that went over there with the intention of hurting Alana, and this was a premeditated, cold-blooded deal, or the only other thing it could be was things got a little out of hand, and it was a complete and total accident. And that person that did it is scared to dang death right now, trying to figure out how to make it right. It's one of the two.
I couldn't hurt her not
purposely.
Not purposely.
No, I never will hold a firearm without a bolt. That's the main rule. I'm not supposed to.
But you know one thing that I know that most people who do stuff like this don't do?
Don't leave it.
I've got 20 years in, just about. He's got right behind me at about 16. We've been doing this a long time. One thing that I do know about people is they don't do the dirty work and then hold somebody else hostage for the most part and make them do all the cleanup and all this other kind of stuff and then turn you loose knowing you know them. There would be two people out there laying. And
no, there wouldn't, because I was gone when I set Alana down.
He would have never let you do that. If you'd have walked in and you saw what you saw, you would have been laying right there next to her. Aaron, without a doubt, that's much I know. If he's already done it once, he's not going to have witnesses.
And I've already explained to you there wasn't enough time for anybody else to be in that house.
There was. I'm telling the guy honest truth about this, though.
I don't think you are.
Yes, I am. I'm telling you everything I know right now. I'm laying my cards on the table like the guy said, the police officer.
I've had them lay their cards down. I've had them swear on a stack of Bibles high as my mama's head, swear on her mama's grave.
I'm not scared. The only thing I'm scared of is he coming back for me now. If we
are not going to let that happen.
I'm not scared about having that.
One thing I think you need to be concerned about, though, is the people that I think you forget about this is...
I know their parents.
Their parents are scared of what?
I don't know.
Her parents are scared of this guy here running around in the woods, this maniac running around in the woods. If you know there's not a maniac, I've got to let them know that, because in addition to what already happened, I've got to be able to tell them, look, you're safe. I've got an obligation to keep her safe and him safe, just like I do you, right?
Those little boys.
And those little boys. You got to level with me, but you're not leveling with me, and I don't know how that's going to look. Go ahead and get it off your chest.
get it off, but y'all saying that I'm lying.
I'm not saying, have I called you a liar?
No way, how y'all saying, because my sister does this to
Have I
me.
called you a liar?
No,
I
sir.
won't. All I'm saying is, I've got a family over here that's upset, and they are scared to death.
Yes, sir.
And you're telling them that there is some maniac out there running around in their woods, randomly just going out there killing people for no reason. How are they ever going to sleep at night again?
I'm telling y'all, there was another dude. I'm not saying I was not there alone. I know I watched it.
I need to go get Tom.
Tommy will know nothing about it.
Would you tell me where he lives on Miles Road, and I will go find this guy right now, and I'll lock him up right now.
I can tell you where he lives.
Where does he live?
He lives, you know, where Elephant Drive is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, down that, well, first you go down there, and you turn to the right. That leads you to the little house that leads to a little red Jeep. He's got a buttload of dogs.
A buttload of what?
Dogs. And he goes out there just randomly shooting anything with automatic weapons.
Okay.
I caught him on my property for no reason one time, and he aimed that automatic gun at me once.
Okay, so when I go down there and we pick this guy up, and we are ultimately not able to tie him to this scene, what's going to happen then?
It doesn't matter if you can't. It all will lead right back
Oh,
on
but it
me.
does matter if we can, though, Aaron.
Because he's going to say you will.
You're going to talk about laying cards down? We're laying cards down now. This is how
I'm
it
laying
goes.
all my...
You laid all of yours down, and I'm going to lay all mine down.
I'm laying all mine down right
When I lay
now.
all them down, I'm going to tell you right quick, the trump card that we've got is your story does not make sense.
That's exactly what y'all is saying.
That's
I'm
exactly
trying to tell you what...
No, what you're doing is every time that I ask you something or every time I point something out, you try to make it fit. It's not going to. Nothing that you say except what happened is going to fit. That's what we're trying to get you to understand. Plain and simple. You could sit there and talk about dwarves dancing under the rainbow. It ain't going to change the fact that it's not going to fit, period. The crime scene does not lie, period. It does not lie. It's only for you to understand.
I want to be able to tell them something that might possibly be able to.
It's not going to compliment her. She's going to hate it. Oh my God. I didn't want to do anything to harm her. I didn't want nothing to harm her.
I believe that. Yeah, we do. You could look at this whole situation and tell that. So why don't you tell us what happened?
I'm telling y'all, but y'all are saying that makes a big bogey, almost a myth right there.
So if you know in your heart of hearts, if you know that what I'm saying is the truth, why would you keep hanging on to it? Why are you going to keep hanging your hat on something that you know? You can lay all them cards down there. And ultimately, I'm going to lay my hand down and I'm going to win the hand. Think about it, Aaron. Think about it. Think about it long and hard. Everything that you've set up until this point. And we told you at every step of the way which way it doesn't make sense. And you know it doesn't make sense. But you're going to keep hanging your hat on it. We're already at a point now to where we're almost there. The last breakthrough is you. And that could be the ticket Investigator Evans is talking about being able to tell her mother. Period. We're asking you to help.
Talking to her mother, I don't think she'll hate you.
can't think of anything like that.
Got to, buddy. You got to. She does. You don't think about mama, think about Alana.
Okay. There's this boy named David Matthews, alright?
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a psycho, a little bit like that. He told me a couple days a week, or a couple kept on telling me that Alana likes making fun of him, making gestures, and he kept on making fun of him and everything. And he wanted to kind of get back to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because he kept on humiliating me in front of this girl that he kept on trying to hit on.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to scare her a bit. And he wanted to go in there and go scare her. I didn't know he was going to do anything stupid.
So what are you saying?
It's hard to say because I know it's going to lead back to it's going to be on me.
So are you trying to say Dave?
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, the state's kind of used the second exhibit and changed into the next one. Well, let's take a little brief recess and let everybody a chance to have a bathroom break so we can finish it up when we come back. So let's, about 10, 12 minutes, something like that. Let's try to get through in about 10 minutes if we can, but y'all may retire to the jury room. All rise, please, for the jury.